Ladies and gentlemen, as our esteemed dignitaries are being escorted to occupy their respective seats on the dais, may I request you all again to give them a big round of applause. Before we begin with the next leg of today's function, we would like to present all our dignitaries with mementos as a token of our affection. May I first request Honorable Shri Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, the Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, to present a memento to Dr. Justice Dhananjaya Chandrachud, the Honorable Chief Justice of India. May I humbly request all our photographers who are here to kindly move at the rear end of the hall so that our guests who are part of the first row and the second row can have a view of the function today. Please, please. May I now request Mr. R.N. Joshi, Registrar General, Bombay High Court, to present a memento to Shri Eknath Shinde ji, the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra. May I now request Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Jamdar to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice B.R. Gavai, Judge, Supreme Court of India. I would now like to request Honorable Shri Justice K.R. Shriram to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Oak, Judge, Supreme Court of India. May I now request Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Chandurkar to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datta, Judge, Supreme Court of India. May I now request Honorable Srimati Justice Revati Mohite Dere to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice Ujjal Bhuya, Judge, Supreme Court of India. May I now request Honorable Shri Justice M.S. Sonak to present a memento to Honorable Shri Justice P.B. Varade, Judge, Supreme Court of India. May I now request Shri Rahul Bhagwat, Registrar, Original Site, Bombay High Court, to present a memento to Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, State of Maharashtra. I would now like to request Shri S.B. Bhansali, the Prothonotary and Senior Master, Original Site, Bombay High Court, to present a memento to Shri Ajit Pawar ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, State of Maharashtra. May I now request Shri M.S. Sharma, Registrar, Appellate Site, Bombay High Court, to present a memento to Shri Devang Vyas, the Additional Solicitor General of India. I would now like to request Shri Samir Adkar, Member Secretary, Malsa, to present a memento to Dr. Birendra Saraf, Advocate General, State of Maharashtra. May I now request Mrs. Kartika Jamdar to hand over a bouquet to Mrs. Juma Datta and welcome her in our midst. May I request our esteemed dignitaries to take their seats, and I would now like to request our Chief Justice, Honorable Shri Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, to welcome our honored guests.
A very good evening and namaskar to all. Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, Honorable Shri Eknath Shambaji Sindhe, Chief Minister Maharashtra, Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan R. Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice Abhay Oak, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Shri Justice Deepankar Datta, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice Ujjal Bhuyan, Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Shri Justice Prasanna B. Varale, Judge Supreme Court of India, Shri Devendra Fadnavis, Deputy Chief Minister Maharashtra, Shri Ajit Pawar, Deputy Chief Minister Maharashtra, Shri Devang Vyas, Additional Solicitor General of India, Dr. Birendra Saraf, Advocate General of Maharashtra, esteemed sister and brother judges, both past and present, Shri Sangram Desai, Chairman Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, the Presidents and Secretaries of Bombay Bar Association, Advocates Association of Western India, and Bombay Incorporated Law Society, learned senior advocates, members of the bar at the High Court of Bombay, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense pride and honor, with equal joy and warmth, that I welcome you all to this momentous occasion of groundbreaking ceremony of a new High Court complex for the High Court of Bombay at Bandra, at the auspicious hands of our own Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India. The glitter and magnificence of the ceremony is evident with the august presence of so many honorable judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Ministers, along with my sister and brother judges of the High Court, other distinguished dignitaries, legal luminaries, stalwarts on and off the dais. Today marks a significant milestone in the history of our state's judicial system. As we gather here for the groundbreaking ceremony of the new High Court complex for the High Court, we are not just laying the foundation of a structure, but also reinforcing our commitment to justice, integrity, and the rule of law by ushering in a new chapter in the history of High Court. The legacy of High Court of Bombay is enriching, tracing back to the enactment of Indian High Courts Act in 1861. with the charter issued on 26 June 1862. The existing High Court building at Fort has a glorious history and tradition. Officially commencing work in November 1878, the court began its journey with just 7 judges, despite the authorization of 15 judges. It is remarkable that for nearly 60 years, the High Court managed to function efficiently with this limited strength, even as the law and the litigation it handled continued to grow in complexity and volume. Yet, with time and growth, the demands on the institution have exceeded beyond its current capacity. From the reorganization of states in 1956 to the present, the High Court of Bombay now serves the states of Maharashtra and Goa, as well as Union Territories of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, with a sanctioned strength of 94 judges. There is a deep attachment with the existing iconic and heritage structure standing as a silent witness to history for over 150 years. It is within the walls of this structure that the trial of Bal Gangadhar Tilak took place, where Mahatma Gandhi once practiced and Dr. Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar undertook his scholarly research. The court has seen the wisdom of eminent jurists and remarkable judges, including the esteemed Chief Justice M.C. Chagla. More than just a building, it represents the independence of our judiciary, a beacon of justice upheld by generations of lawyers and judges, deeply rooted in the fabric of our nation's history. While the strength of judges has grown, the building has remained unchanged despite the increasing needs of judges, lawyers, litigants, and registry. The expansion of court buildings at Nagpur and Aurangabad benches have provided much needed relief, but the High Court premises at Fort has continued to face space constraints. We are constrained to work from different places such as GT Hospital premises, CTO building, Bank of India building, MTNL building, etc. Today, we are determined to address that challenge head-on, and it is with great excitement that we look forward to realization of a long-awaited dream, the construction of a new High Court complex at Bandra. We understand that any new venture of such a magnitude would always be subject to the concerted and continued efforts of all the stakeholders, including the judicial fraternity, the Government of Maharashtra and different agencies. The Government of Maharashtra, in recognition of this pressing need, has graciously allotted 30.16 acres of land for this iconic project of vital importance. The Honorable Supreme Court has been instrumental in expediting the entire process of allotment of land by the government. For this, we extend our heartfelt thanks to Honorable the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Ministers of State of Maharashtra, Learned Advocate General and Learned Additional Solicitor General of India, for unwavering support which has led to this momentous beginning. I am sure and hopeful that the Government of Maharashtra and all the stakeholders will commit and dedicate their best efforts in successful culmination of the project at the earliest, so as to minimize the overall inconvenience to one and all. The proposed High Court complex will be designed to symbolize our dedication to providing a modern, efficient, and accessible environment for the administration of justice. The proposed court complex is going to be a state-of-the-art facility designed to cater to every need, providing ample courtrooms, judges' chambers, the dedicated spaces like conference halls, libraries for judges, staff, and advocates, essential amenities such as dispensary, museum, canteen, and a daycare center will further enhance its functionality. With the provisions for the post office, bank, an auditorium, and a comfortable waiting area for litigants, the complex will ensure that all aspects of judicial process are considered adequately. Additionally, it will feature law officers' chambers, lawyers' chambers, bar association offices, an arbitration and mediation center, judges' quarters, multi-storied parking, and recreation ground. Modern services such as Wi-Fi, scanning and digitization center, 24/7 security, and fire safety protocols will also be integral, ensuring a safe and secure environment. I wish, with the cooperation of all, the new building will emerge as signature building of the state. In short, it will be a place where the wheels of justice would turn more efficiently with sufficient capacity to meet the demands of our time. It would be a testament to our collective vision for a future where justice will not only be served, but seen to be served in its true spirit. As we break ground today, let us strive harder, commit ourselves with a determined mindset to get the project executed to the fullest satisfaction of all stakeholders. Let us be reminded that it would be the prestige and reputation of the state and its judiciary, and it should start as a beacon of hope and justice for generations to come. I would conclude by extending my heartfelt gratitude to each of the stakeholders for contributing to the idea of a new court complex, eagerly looking forward to achieving the desired results in the quickest possible time. Thank you all for being here to witness this historic moment. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord. Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed the groundbreaking ceremony for the new High Court complex at Bandra. A plaque for the new complex will also be unveiled today. May I request the Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, to unveil the plaque for the new High Court complex. May I also request all the esteemed dignitaries on the dais to accompany the Chief Justice for unveiling the plaque. May I request all the photographers to not block the view of our esteemed guests. Thank you, sir. We are truly grateful to Dr. Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, and the honored dignitaries for availing the opportunity of having Justice Chandrachud with us today. May I request His Lordship to unveil the plaque for residential complex that is to come up at Land's End, Malabar Hill for honorable judges of the Bombay High Court. Thank you, my lord. May I request the honored dignitaries to take their seat at the dais. May I now request Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, State of Maharashtra and the Law Minister of the State of Maharashtra to address this august gathering.
माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाचे मुख्य न्यायमूर्ती डॉक्टर धनंजय चंद्रचूडजी, महाराष्ट्राचे लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री सन्माननीय एकनाथराव शिंदेजी, सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाचे न्यायमूर्ती आदरणीय भूषण गवईजी, आदरणीय एस ओकाजी, आदरणीय दीपांकर दत्ताजी, आदरणीय उज्ज्वल भुयानजी, आदरणीय प्रसन्न वैराळेजी, मंचावर उपस्थित सन्माननीय उपमुख्यमंत्री अजितदादा पवार, बॉम्बे हायकोर्टचे मुख्य न्यायाधीश आदरणीय देवेंद्र कुमार उपाध्यायजी, न्यायमूर्ती आदरणीय श्री नितीन जामदारजी, देवांग व्यासजी, वीरेंद्र सराफजी, या ठिकाणी उपस्थित सर्व बॉम्बे हायकोर्टचे सन्मान्य न्यायमूर्ती, सन्मान्य निवृत्त न्यायमूर्ती, सर्व सन्मान्य अधिवक्ता, शासनाचे वरिष्ठ अधिकारी आणि उपस्थित भगिनी आणि बंधूंनो, आज अतिशय आनंदाची गोष्ट आहे की बॉम्बे हायकोर्टच्या नवीन इमारतीचं भूमिपूजन माननीय मुख्य न्यायमूर्ती चंद्रचूड साहेबांच्या हाताने होत आहे. ही देखील एक अतिशय गर्वाची गोष्ट आहे की महाराष्ट्रातले न्यायमूर्ती हे देशाचे मुख्य न्यायाधीश असताना त्यांच्या हाताने मुंबईमध्ये आज खरं म्हणजे या इमारतीचं भूमिपूजन होत आहे. आणि त्याकरता जे उपस्थित आहेत तेही सगळे महाराष्ट्रातलेच न्यायमूर्ती आहेत किंवा महाराष्ट्रात राहिलेले अशा प्रकारचे सर्व न्यायमूर्ती आहेत. त्यामुळे ही अतिशय आनंदाची गोष्ट आहे. खरं म्हणजे गेले जवळपास 7-8 वर्ष ही नवीन इमारत व्हावी अशा प्रकारचा प्रयत्न चालला होता. त्याकरता जस्टिस भूषण गवई साहेब असतील, जस्टिस ओक साहेब असतील, दीपांकर दत्ता साहेब ज्यावेळी इथले चीफ जस्टिस होते त्यावेळेस त्यांनी केलेला प्रयत्न असेल, उपाध्याय साहेब असतील, अनेक लोकांनी सातत्याने पाठपुरावा करून याला गती कशी देता येईल आणि अर्थातच या ठिकाणी आदरणीय चंद्रचूड साहेबांनी देखील स्वतः त्याच्यामध्ये इंटरेस्ट घेतला आणि अतिशय वेगानं हे काम पुढे गेलं आणि आज एक अतिशय चांगली अशा प्रकारची इमारत त्या ठिकाणी तयार होते. मला आठवतं की पहिल्यांदा BKCला ही इमारत करता येईल का अशा प्रकारचा प्रस्ताव आला, पण एवढी मोठी जागा ही BKCला मिळू शकत नाही हे लक्षात आल्यानंतर त्यावेळेस मी मुख्यमंत्री होतो आणि विधी व न्यायमंत्री देखील होतो आणि त्यावेळेस मग आम्ही हा विचार केला की ही जागा शासनाच्या मालकीची आहे, PWDची जागा आहे, त्या ठिकाणी आमचे क्वार्टर्सही आहेत, ते आम्ही रिडेव्हलप करणार आहोत आणि म्हणून या ठिकाणी आपण अशा प्रकारचं हे कॉम्प्लेक्स तयार करू शकतो. आणि हळूहळू करत आज हा दिवस आला आहे आणि मला विश्वास आहे की भूमिपूजनानंतर देखील अतिशय रेकॉर्ड वेळेमध्ये हे काम आम्ही पूर्ण करू आणि निश्चितपणे याचं उद्घाटन देखील चांगल्या प्रकारे होऊ शकेल. आत्ताच आदरणीय उपाध्याय साहेबांनी सांगितलं की 1862ची इमारत, ज्या इमारतीमध्ये आत्ता माननीय उच्च न्यायालय बसतं, खरं म्हणजे अतिशय ऐतिहासिक अशा प्रकारची ती इमारत आहे. 7 जजेसपासनं त्यावेळेस सुरुवात झाली, स्ट्रेंथ 15 होती. म्हणजे मला जरा थोडं बरं वाटलं की त्याही काळामध्ये स्ट्रेंथ पूर्ण नसायचीच, म्हणजे 15च्या ऐवजी 7 होते. आता त्यापेक्षा चांगली स्थिती आहे. आता 90 जजेसची संख्या आणि 66 जजेस कार्यरत आहेत. म्हणजे मला असं वाटतं की त्याच्यापेक्षा बरी स्थिती आता 73% जजेस आज उच्च न्यायालयामध्ये या ठिकाणी आहेत. आणि त्या काळामध्ये खरं म्हणजे 16,44,000 रुपये एवढ्या फक्त रुपयांमध्ये ही इमारत तयार झाली होती. आणि आज त्या इमारतीमध्ये पाहिल्यानंतर त्याचं जे हेरिटेज रूप आहे ते बघितल्यानंतर खरोखर मला असं वाटतं की त्यावेळेचं जे स्थापत्य होतं ते किती समृद्ध होतं हे आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतं. पण जरी स्थापत्य समृद्ध असलं तरी देखील आम्ही अनेक वेळा बघितलेलं आहे की अनेक जजेसला जीव मुठीत घेऊन त्या ठिकाणी बसावं लागतं, कारण कधी वरचा एखादा भाग खाली येईल याचा भरोसा नसतो आणि कुठल्याच प्रकारच्या सोयी त्या इमारतीमध्ये करता येत नाहीत. एक सोय करायची म्हटली तरी त्याच्यात 100 परवानग्या घ्याव्या लागतात, अशा प्रकारची अवस्था त्या ठिकाणी होती. त्यामुळे नवीन जागेची आवश्यकता होतीच. पण ही जी जुनी जागा आहे ही अतिशय ऐतिहासिक आहे. लोकमान्य टिळकांवर चाललेला खटला असेल, भारतरत्न डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकरांनी त्या ठिकाणी प्रॅक्टिस केलेली आहे, महात्मा गांधी देखील त्या ठिकाणी एक वकील म्हणून अपिअर झालेले आहेत. त्यामुळे इतका मोठा इतिहास हा या संपूर्ण इमारतीला लाभलेला आहे. आणि मला असं वाटतं की अनेक महत्त्वाचे निर्णय त्या इमारतीतनं दिले गेले की ज्यातनं लोकांचं जीवन बदललं. ज्यातनं अनेक वेळा पाथ ब्रेकिंग अशा प्रकारच्या व्यवस्था उभ्या झाल्या. आणि म्हणूनच मला असं वाटतं की आता हे जे ट्रान्झिशन होत आहे हे ट्रान्झिशन केवळ इमारतीचं होत आहे, स्पिरिटचं ट्रान्झिशन होत नाही. स्पिरिट तेच आहे आणि त्याच स्पिरिटने पुढे देखील मला असं वाटतं की नवीन इमारतीतनं काम चालेल. एक गोष्ट निश्चितपणे सांगितली पाहिजे की जेव्हा इथे हायकोर्ट न्यायचं ठरवलं आणि ऑनरेबल जजेसनी त्याच्यामध्ये पुढाकार घेतला, पण आमचे अनेक वकील तयार नव्हते. त्यांना फार प्रेम या इकडच्या भागाशी होतं. पण जेव्हापासनं कोस्टल रोड तयार झाला तेव्हापासनं कुठलेच वकील आता म्हणत नाही की त्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही घेऊन जाऊ नका. आता सगळ्या वकिलांनी आम्हाला परमिशन दिली, कारण कोस्टल रोडनी 15-20 मिनिटात आता त्या ठिकाणी पोहोचता येतं. त्यामुळे सराफ साहेब आता काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही आहे. आता कोणीही याला विरोध करणार नाही आणि ही चांगली इमारत आपण या ठिकाणी तयार करू. मी शेवटी एवढंच सांगेन की आज आमची ज्युडिशियरी एक अशी इन्स्टिट्यूशन आहे, एक अशी संस्था आहे की देशामध्ये आपल्या जेवढ्या लोकशाहीच्या संस्था आहेत त्यात सर्वाधिक विश्वास जर कुठल्या संस्थेवर असेल, सर्वाधिक विश्वासार्हता जर कुठल्या संस्थेच्या संदर्भात असेल तर ती आमच्या ज्युडिशियरीच्या संदर्भात आहे. पण अलीकडच्या काळामध्ये अशाही प्रकारचे प्रयत्न होतात की कुठेतरी अराजकता तयार झाली पाहिजे. माझ्या बाजूनं जर निर्णय आला तर निर्णय उत्तम, आणि माझ्या विरोधात आला तर मात्र त्याच्यावर प्रश्नचिन्ह निर्माण करायचं, अशाही प्रवृत्ती तयार होत आहेत. अर्थात अशा प्रवृत्तीशी लढण्याची शक्ती ही आमच्या सर्वोच्च न्यायालयामध्ये आहे, आमच्या उच्च न्यायालयामध्ये आहे, याबद्दल माझ्या मनात कुठलीही शंका नाही. पण मला असं वाटतं की जी विश्वासार्हता या इन्स्टिट्यूशनने तयार केली आहे, जी विश्वासार्हता कॅरी फॉरवर्ड केली आहे, अशीच विश्वासार्हता यापुढे देखील आपल्याला पाहायला मिळेल. आणि पुढच्या काळामध्ये या अतिशय आयकॉनिक बिल्डिंगमधनं जी तयार होणार आहे ती आयकॉनिक असेलच. त्यामुळे त्या अतिशय आयकॉनिक बिल्डिंगमधनं न्यायदानाचं कार्य हे अधिक वेगानं, अधिक चांगल्या प्रकारे, अधिक लोकाभिमुखतेनं त्या ठिकाणी पार पडलं जाईल, हा विश्वास मी व्यक्त करतो. आणि सन्माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालयाचे मुख्य न्यायमूर्ती, सर्व न्यायमूर्ती, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे मुख्य न्यायमूर्ती, सर्व न्यायमूर्ती या ठिकाणी आले, त्याबद्दल त्यांचं सर्वांचं स्वागत करतो आणि माझं बोलणं संपवतो. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to request His Lordship Justice Abhay Oak to address this august gathering.
Namaskar and good evening. Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, Honorable Shri Eknathji Shinde, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, my esteemed senior colleague, Honorable Shri Justice Bhushan Gawai, my esteemed brother judges, Honorable Shri Justice Dipankar Datto, Honorable Shri Justice Ujjwal Bhuyan, and Honorable Shri Justice Prasanna Varale, Shri Ajit Pawar and Shri Devendra Fadnavis, Honorable Deputy Chief Ministers of Maharashtra, Honorable Shri Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyaya, Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, sister and brother judges of the Bombay High Court, Presidents of the 3 bar associations, Dr. Birendra Saraf, Advocate General, Shri Devang Vyas, Additional Solicitor General of India, senior members of the bar, and ladies and gentlemen. I am extremely privileged to be part of this historic function, but I believe that an occasion to arrange this function should have arisen at least 20 years earlier. The present building of the Bombay High Court was constructed between April 1871 and November 1878. It became functional on 10th of January 1879. Thus, the building is 145 years old. The building was built for benefit of High Court consisting of maximum 15 judges. Now, the building is used by at least 40 judges. The principal seat at Mumbai has perhaps the highest filing of cases every year, next only to the Allahabad High Court. Today, if you take a tour of the Bombay High Court, you will find that the court is most inconvenient for the bar members, litigants, and staff members. This is a court where more than 100 cases are listed before every bench every day. The courtrooms are too small and inconvenient to accommodate lawyers and litigants. There is no facility for parking a single two-wheeler or four-wheeler for the members of the bar and members of the staff. Even the official vehicles of the judges are parked on the road, as very few vehicles can be accommodated inside. The litigants have no place to sit. In the court recess, they squat in the corridors. The corridors of the annex building, which houses about 8 courts, are so narrow that it is difficult to pass through. Some of the bar rooms used by the members of the Advocates Association of Western India are crowded like platforms of suburban railway stations. Many staff members of the High Court are working in most inhuman conditions for last several years. No institution can survive for a long time on the past glory of its heritage building unless we provide proper facilities to the members of the bar, members of the staff and litigants. We will not be able to render better quality justice. As compared to the court building at Principal Seat in Mumbai, some of the high courts in other states are very spacious and have modern facilities for the benefit of litigants, lawyers and staff members. I am not referring to the biggest state in India, Uttar Pradesh. Recently, I had an occasion to visit new High Court building at Ranchi. It is a state-of-art building that provides very modern facilities to all stakeholders. In the past, there were 2 opportunities for Bombay High Court to get bigger premises. One was in early 1980s, when it was reported that state government offered a plot of 200 acres in a prime locality in New Bombay. There was justification for not accepting that because it was outside the city of Mumbai. The second one was in 2005-2006, when there was some discussion about allotment of a bigger plot in Bandra Kurla complex. As some of you know, in those days there were no takers for Bandra Kurla complex. But at that time, perhaps the senior judges of the Bombay High Court felt that the members of the bar would not support, and therefore that proposal did not go ahead. Today is the day when I must acknowledge the support of the Bombay Bar Association, Advocates Association of Western India, and Bombay Incorporated Law Society. We must also acknowledge efforts made by one individual lawyer, Mr. Abdi, who brought the issue before the court. These are the 3 associations who supported the cause, and therefore we see today's auspicious day. Some apprehension is expressed about what will happen to the existing heritage building. Those judges who are sitting on the dais will not be part of the judiciary when the occasion arises to shift the High Court to the new building. I am expressing my strong personal views on this subject in the presence of highest political dignitaries of the state. Even if High Court is shifted to the newly constructed building, the present building must remain with the High Court. The building was constructed for judiciary and it must remain with judiciary. We can have a museum as well as a mediation, conciliation and arbitration center. I hope and trust that the younger judges of the Bombay High Court who are here will remember what I said today. I am sure that within few years, we'll have a very spacious High Court building in Bandra with all the modern facilities. But I must remind everyone who is present here that the infrastructure of our trial courts and district courts is lagging far behind. I will request the dignitaries who are present here, especially the political dignitaries, to cross the border on the northern side as well as southern side. If you go on the southern side and go to state of Karnataka, you will find state-of-art courts existing. I am talking about the taluka and district courts. Just travel to Hubli, you will find perhaps the most modern taluka court in India. Same is the case with state of Gujarat. And compare with this what happens in our state. Our state is lagging far behind when it comes to the infrastructure provided to our trial and district courts. I must remind everybody that our trial and district courts are the courts of common man, and therefore we have to pay attention. Just to give an example, few kilometers from here, from this place, construction of family court building, which is a dire necessity of the city, is going on for last 6 years. We are not able to construct it. Therefore, all of us who are present here, who are part of this great institution, must also remember that we must ensure that we have far better infrastructure to our trial and district judiciary. Today, possession of a very small portion of the land has been handed over to the High Court. I want to emphasize one thing. Timelines must be fixed for handing over remaining portion. Timeline should be fixed for release of adequate funds and, of course, the final outer limit for completion of the project. The state government and its functionaries must understand the urgency involved. Few minutes back, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister shared with us that it is very difficult to provide any additional facility in the existing building of the Bombay High Court. Before I end, I want to suggest the first deadline. The first deadline should be of actual commencement of the building. And there is significance about one particular date. And therefore, I am saying with great deal of emphasis that actual construction must start before 23rd of November 2025. That can be done in presence of Chief Justice of India who comes from this court. Therefore, my request to everybody to remember that construction must start before 23rd November 25. I thank all the stakeholders, the state government, the Advocate General, and again bar associations who have joined hands for giving a new building to the most historic High Court. I thank the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court and his colleagues for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Justice B.R. Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India, to address this august gathering.
The chief guest of today's function, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. Dhananjay Chandrachud, the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Eknathji Shinde, my esteemed colleague and dear friend, Justice Abhay Oak, my other colleagues, Justice Dipankar Datto, Justice Ujjal Bhuyan, Justice Prasanna Varade, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Devendra ji Fadnavis, and Ajit ji Pawar, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court, due to whose efforts today's event is taking place, Shri Upadhyay ji, the Advocate General, my dear friend Dr. Virendra Saraf, the Additional Solicitor General, Advocate Vyas, all my esteemed brother and sister colleagues present here personally and online from Nagpur, Aurangabad, and Goa. My former Chief Justices, Justice Mohit Shah and Justice Naresh Patil, the former Justice of Punjab and Haryana, my dear friend Justice Wajibdar, the former Chief Justice of Himachal Pradesh, Amjad Bhai, the President of the Bombay Bar Association, Nitin Bhai Thakkar, the President of Western India Advocates Association, Prashant Redekar, the President of the Indian Law and Corporate Society, Fardana Behram Kardin, the Chairman of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Sri Sangram Desai, and all his colleagues from the Bar Council. I see many of my former colleagues present here, including Justice Nishita Madre, the Secretary General, the Registrar General of the Bombay High Court, the First Lady Chief Secretary of Maharashtra, Srimati Sujata Sonik, Secretary JAD Manisha Maheskar, the Secretary Law Ms. Kevle, the learned senior advocates present in large number, the members of the bar and friends. It's really a matter of great pride for me to be a part of this event where we are assembled for the groundbreaking of the new building of the Bombay High Court. As Justice Oak said that this would have been happened at least 20 years back, but we lost many opportunities. But it's a matter of great pleasure and pride that, though delayed, the project is being fructified. It's also a matter of great pleasure that the groundbreaking ceremony is being done at the hands of none else than the head of our family, the Chief Justice of India, Dr. Dhananjay Chandrachud. It's a special reason also because the technology and development of judicial infrastructure are the subjects very close to the heart of the Honorable Chief Justice. In last 2 years, he has implemented many projects for the benefit of the lawyers, for the benefit of the litigants, for the benefit of the specially able persons in the Supreme Court. And I think we must have inaugurated not less than 10-12 events in the last 1 year. And under his leadership, we also plan to have a new building for the Supreme Court. In the old building, only the 5 first courts are the courts which are really deserving the status of a Supreme Court. But the other courts, court number 7, 6, 5, 6, 7 onwards, are cramped up courts. And under his leadership, we have prepared a plan which will have 27 courts and lots of facilities, not only for the lawyers, litigants, women lawyers, but also differently abled persons. It's a matter of really great pleasure that today's event is being organized in his presence and the groundbreaking ceremony has been done as his auspicious hands. I do hope that the groundbreaking ceremony of the new Supreme Court building would also be held prior to 9th of November 2024. When we celebrate today's occasion, I am reminded of my days here. I had the pleasure of working on the infrastructure committee initially when Justice Oak was the chairman of it, and after he went to the administrative committee, I became the chairman of the infrastructure committee, and I, along with Justice Revati Mohite Dere and Justice Makarand Karnik, we worked a lot on the infrastructure committee, and we had envisaged many projects. One of them was the new building, and the other one was the Land's End building. As a matter of fact, I think during our period in the infrastructure committee, we had also finalized the plans for the Land's End building. Now, I don't think that any of us would be in a position to reside in that building once it is completed, but I am sure that in the guest house that we have proposed there, we will be able to enjoy that. I must place on record that when I was chairman of the infrastructure committee, Devendra ji was the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and during that period, we received a lot of support from the executive. Wherever we asked for the funds were given, and during his tenure as the Chief Minister, all the 3 national law universities in Maharashtra, the Bombay, the Nagpur, and the Aurangabad, were established. Not only that, but the construction work of the Nagpur University as well as the Aurangabad University started during his period, and the funds were never short. No doubt that even after change in 2019, the government under the leadership of Shri Uddhavji Thackeray also supported us, and now we have the state-of-the-art building at NLU, Nagpur, and also a very good facility at Aurangabad. I am sure that shortly the work for the National Law University, Mumbai, will also commence. I am told that the land issues have been already resolved. The relations between the executive and the judiciary in Maharashtra have always been cordial. In 2017, 18, 19, we were in the infrastructure committee. Various new district court buildings as well as Tahsil court buildings have been sanctioned, and many of them have been constructed and inaugurated. We have an excellent facility of a new court building at Nagpur, at Amravati, at Kolhapur, at Akola, and at many other places. Some of the taluka courts which we have inaugurated also have the best of the facilities. When we used to practice as the lawyers, and that too in a 47, 48 temperature of Nagpur, there were no air conditioners and there were only coolers. And the chobdas used to sprinkle water on the khas sattas. But now I'm happy to note that even at Tahsil levels, the courts are air conditioned and techno-friendly. I was also happy to receive a good news when I arrived at the airport that in today's cabinet, the cabinet has sanctioned the funds for the Nagpur National Law University, as well as the demand which was made by Justice Oak for NLU Nagpur as well as NLU Aurangabad. I place on record my deep appreciation for the said to the Honorable Chief Minister, the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, who also happens to be the Law Minister, and the person who holds the purse, that is the Deputy Chief Minister, and the Finance Minister, Shri Ajit Ji Pawar. I must also place on record that with the efforts of the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Eknath Ji Shinde, a large piece of land has been sanctioned at Tadoda for construction of a lawyers' academy. The Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa has always been a pioneer in taking forward the continuous legal education program. I and Justice Oka have been associated with it for almost 1.5 decades, and I'm happy to note that the Bar Council will be constructing a first of its facility in the India, a lawyers' academy wherein a continuous legal education program will be provided to the lawyers' fraternity. I congratulate the Bar Council and thank the Honorable Chief Minister for allotting the said land. I'm sure that under the dynamic leadership of the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Shri Upadhyay Ji, and the active support of the executive, the Honorable Chief Minister, we have two Devendras on the dais here, Devendra Ji Upadhyay and Devendra Ji Fadnavis, and the Honorable Finance Minister, who is also the Deputy Chief Minister. The construction will commence shortly. The building would be completed shortly. I'm sure that when the plans for the building are made, it is not only the judges' needs which are taken into consideration, but as I always say that it is the bar and the bench who are complementary to each other. The bar and bench are like two wheels of the golden chariot of institution of justice. You span one wheel and the efficacy of the entire chariot comes to a standstill. I must place on record that it was Justice Oak order passed in 2019, a judgment delivered by him, which has paved the way of allotment of the land. And I must also place on record the efforts placed by all the three bar councils, the Bar Council of all the three bar associations, the Bombay Bar Association, the Western India Advocates Association, and the Incorporated Law Society in pursuing the matter. As a matter of fact, the Honorable Chief Justice took suo motu cognizance about a couple of months back, and then I had the privilege of sharing the bench with him. And I must place on record the efforts of all the three bar councils, bar associations who pursued the issue, and that persuasion fructifies in today's event. I extend my all the best wishes for the new project. I thank, as a matter of fact, I should not thank because you should not thank yourself. I am the part of the Bombay High Court and I will always be a part of the Bombay High Court. It would have been appropriate that the learned Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court should have organized this function on some weekend so that all the colleagues from Aurangabad, Nagpur and Goa would have physically participated in this one of the most historious moments that the Bombay High Court will celebrate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now have the pleasure of requesting Shri Eknath Shindeji, the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, to address this August gathering.
नमस्कार. आज मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाच्या नवीन इमारतीचं भूमिपूजन होत आहे आणि या अतिशय ऐतिहासिक अशा कार्यक्रमाला उपस्थित आपल्या भारताचे सरन्यायाधीश डॉक्टर धनंजय चंद्रचूड साहेब, B.R. गवई साहेब, अभय ओक साहेब, दीपांकर दत्ताजी, उज्ज्वल भुयानजी, प्रसन्न वराळेजी आणि आपले मुंबई हायकोर्टाचे चीफ जस्टिस न्यायमूर्ती देवेंद्र कुमार उपाध्यायजी, आमचे लोकप्रिय उपमुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीसजी, अजितदादा पवारजी, न्यायमूर्ती जामदार साहेब, देवांग व्यास, वीरेंद्र सराफ आणि समोर बसलेले देखील आपल्या मुंबई हायकोर्टाचे न्यायमूर्ती, आमचे सर्व अधिकारी आणि उपस्थित मान्यवर. खरं म्हणजे आजचा दिवस हा महाराष्ट्राच्या आणि मुंबईच्या दृष्टीने अतिशय महत्त्वाचा आणि पुन्हा एकदा मी सांगेन ऐतिहासिक असा आहे. कारण या आजच्या दिवसाची आपण सगळेच लोक वाट पाहत होतो आणि आजचा योगायोग पण आहे की सरन्यायाधीश चंद्रचूड साहेबांच्या शुभ हस्ते याचं भूमिपूजन होतं आहे. ही आपल्या सगळ्यांसाठी एक आनंदाची समाधानाची बाब आहे. खरं म्हणजे मुंबईमध्ये मुंबई हायकोर्टात त्यांनी काम केलं आणि भारताच्या सर्वोच्च न्यायालयामध्ये आज सरन्यायाधीश म्हणून काम करताय हे महाराष्ट्रासाठी एक गौरवास्पद आणि अभिमानास्पद आहे. आणि त्यांच्या शुभ हस्ते आज याचं भूमिपूजन होतं आहे ते त्याहीपेक्षा आनंदाची एक घटना होती आहे. भारतीय न्यायव्यवस्था ही आपल्या लोकशाहीचा अत्यंत महत्त्वाचा स्तंभ आहे. देशाचे स्वातंत्र्य, लोकशाही बळकट आणि सुरक्षित करण्यात न्यायव्यवस्थेची अत्यंत मोलाची भूमिका असते. आज मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयासारख्या एका सर्वात जुन्या आणि लौकिक प्राप्त आदरणीय अशा संस्थेसाठी एका नव्या युगाची सुरुवात झाली असं म्हटलं तर वावगं ठरणार नाही. मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाच्या नवीन इमारतीचं भूमिपूजन झालंय. अनेक वर्षापासूनची आपली प्रतीक्षा आज संपली आहे. आपण सगळेच जण त्या ऐतिहासिक क्षणाचे साक्षीदार होतोय आणि मी मुख्यमंत्री म्हणून आमचे देवेंद्रजी आणि अजितदादा यांच्या कारकिर्दीमध्ये आणि शासनाच्या देखील या काळात याचं भूमिपूजन होतंय हे देखील आम्हाला आनंद देणार आहे. आणि म्हणून मुंबई हायकोर्टाचे सर्व सन्मान्य न्यायिक अधिकारी, कर्मचारी, राज्याचा आमचा विधी विभाग, सार्वजनिक बांधकाम विभाग, सर्व संबंधित यंत्रणांना धन्यवाद द्यायला पाहिजे. त्यांनी विचारपूर्वक आणि नियोजनबद्ध पद्धतीने काम केल्यानेच आजचा हा दिवस खऱ्या अर्थाने उजाडलेला आहे. आपण न्यायालयाला न्याय मंदिर म्हणतो, कारण न्यायदानाचं पवित्र कार्य न्यायालयातून होत असतं. रामशास्त्री प्रभूंचा वारसा सांगणारा आपला महाराष्ट्र आहे आणि म्हणून 2019 पासून देशाला 4 सरन्यायाधीश लाभले, त्यातले 3 महाराष्ट्रातले आहेत. हे आपल्या महाराष्ट्राच्या दृष्टीने अतिशय अभिमानास्पद आहे. मग बोबडे साहेब असतील, उदय लळित साहेब असतील आणि आता धनंजय चंद्रचूड साहेब आहेत. न्यायनिष्ठूर प्रगाढ ज्ञानी म्हणून त्यांची देशात त्यांना ओळखलं जातं आणि रामशास्त्री बाणा जपणारे सरन्यायाधीश धनंजय चंद्रचूडजी आज या सोहळ्यासाठी आहेत. त्यांचं मी पुन्हा एकदा आपल्या सगळ्यांच्या वतीने आणि महाराष्ट्र सरकारच्या वतीने मनापासून स्वागत करतो, त्यांना धन्यवाद देतो. न्यायदानाचा हा वारसा त्यांना वडिलांकडूनच लाभला आहे. वडील आणि मुलगा दोघेही सरन्यायाधीश होण्याचा बहुमान या देशात चंद्रचूड कुटुंबालाच मिळालेला आहे. हे देखील या ठिकाणी अतिशय गौरवाची बाब आहे. आणि चंद्रचूड साहेब यांनी मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयातही अनेक वर्ष मगाशी मी म्हटलं काम केलं है और म्हणून आज मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय के हमारे मुख्य न्यायाधीश के रूप में आदरणीय देवेंद्र कुमार उपाध्याय जी भी है. वे भी इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट के न्यायाधीश थे. निष्पक्षता और स्वतंत्रता, तर्कसंगतता, न्याय और कानून का गाढ़ा ज्ञान, ये उनकी खासियत है. इसलिए आपको भी मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, आपके पूरे टीम को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ. न्यायमूर्ती काशीनाथ तेलंग, न्यायमूर्ती महादेव गोविंद रानडे, न्यायमूर्ती नारायण चंदावरकर या देखील न्यायाधीशांचा मी आवर्जून उल्लेख करेन. या तिघांनी एकानंतर एक मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे न्यायाधीशपद भूषवलं. विशेष म्हणजे हे तिघेही पब्लिक अवेअरनेस, इनजस्टिस या कामामध्ये प्रगाढ ज्ञान होतं त्यांना आणि त्यांनी मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाच्या लौकिकात देखील भर घातली आहे. सार्वभौम लोकशाही प्रजासत्ताकाच्या निर्मितीत आणि जडणघडणीमध्ये मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाने मोलाची भर घातलेली आहे आणि म्हणूनच या भूमिपूजनाची सुरुवात करण्याची संधी आपल्याला मिळाली. त्यामुळे आपण सगळे भाग्यवान आहोत. मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय म्हटलं की आजची फोर्टमधली गॉथिक शैलीची इमारत डोळ्यासमोर उभी राहते. या इमारतीचा वृत्तपत्रात प्रसिद्ध झालेला साधा फोटो देखील एखाद्या पीडित आणि अन्यायग्रस्त माणसाच्या मनाला दिलासा निर्माण करतो, दिलासा देऊन जातो. गुन्हेगार किंवा बेकायदेशीर वागणाऱ्यांच्या मनात धडकी भरवतो. अशी एक इमारत आपण पाहतोय आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आज आपलं कामकाज सुरू आहे. मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाची स्थापना होऊन 160 वर्षाहून अधिक काळ पार पडला आहे. मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय हे न्यायाचा आधारस्तंभ बनलेला आहे. या संस्थेने राष्ट्राच्या लीगल लँडस्केपला आकार दिलेला आहे. खऱ्या अर्थाने सामान्य माणसाचा न्याय प्रक्रियेवरचा विश्वास दृढ केला आहे, तो वाढवलेला आहे. आणि म्हणून इथे नवीन इमारत बांधताना हाच विचारांचा समृद्ध वारसा पुढे आपण घेऊन जाल असा विश्वास देखील आहे. फक्त विटेवर वीट रचून एखादी इमारत उभी राहील, पण इथली मूल्यसुद्धा टिकली पाहिजेत. आणि म्हणून महामानव भारतरत्न डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकरांनी दिलेल्या राज्यघटनेतील सार्वभौम लोकशाही प्रजासत्ताकाच्या मूल्यामध्ये अशा संस्था टिकवून ठेवण्याची ताकद निर्माण करतात. आणि म्हणूनच या नवीन इमारतीची पायाभरणी करताना लोकशाहीतील न्यायव्यवस्थेच्या महत्त्वाच्या भूमिकेची आपण सगळ्यांनी जाण ठेवायला पाहिजे. हे नवीन संकुल आपल्या न्याय व्यवस्थेच्या वाढत्या गरजा पूर्ण करेल आणि संपूर्ण देशाला अभिमान वाटेल असं हे अद्ययावत संकुल ठरेल अशा प्रकारची अपेक्षा आणि खात्री व्यक्त करतो. कारण शेवटी महाराष्ट्र सरकार देखील रेकॉर्ड टाईममध्ये भूमिपूजन झालंय आणि रेकॉर्ड टाईममध्ये ही इमारत पूर्णही होईल असा विश्वास या ठिकाणी मी व्यक्त करतो. कारण आमच्या सरकारने नवीन न्यायालय आणि न्यायालयांच्या नवीन इमारती निर्माण करण्याचा विक्रम केलाय. ओकसाहेब आमचे ठाणेकर आहेत. आमच्या कॅबिनेटमध्ये आलेला प्रत्येक प्रस्ताव एका क्षणाचाही विलंब न लावता आम्ही मंजूर करतो. त्यामुळे कुठलंही काम थांबत नाही. आम्ही देखील फास्ट ट्रॅकवर काम करतो. आणि म्हणून मी किती न्यायालय वगैरे त्याचा उल्लेख करत नाही, परंतु खूप म्हणजे जवळपास 32 न्यायालय आपण त्याला मान्यता दिली. हजारो न्यायिक अधिकाऱ्यांची आणि हजारो इतर जी काही पदं आहे ती निर्माण करण्याचं काम केलेलं आहे. खरं म्हणजे डिजिटायझेशन, IT आणि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स हे आता काळाची गरज बनली आणि म्हणून शासनाने यासाठी सुद्धा भरीव अशी तरतूद केलेली आहे. आणि म्हणूनच न्याय यंत्रणा मजबूत करण्यासाठी जे जे काही करावं लागतं ते सरकार आमचं करतंय आणि नक्की करत राहील. खरं म्हणजे नव्याने उभी राहणारी ही इमारत जी आहे पीडित वंचित वर्गाच्या अपेक्षा पूर्ण करेल अशा प्रकारचा विश्वास या ठिकाणी व्यक्त करतो. गेल्या काही वर्षात न्यायव्यवस्था अधिक गतिमान झालेली आहे आणि म्हणून न्यायव्यवस्था या सर्व न्यायमूर्तींना देखील मनापासून मी धन्यवाद देतो. मी थोड्याच वेळापूर्वी गुन्ह्यांचा कन्व्हिक्शन रेट त्याची थोडी माहिती घेत होतो. 2008 साली 9 ते 10% असलेला कन्व्हिक्शन रेट आता 45% पुढे गेलेला आहे. हे निश्चितच आपल्या सगळ्यांच्या दृष्टीने अतिशय समाधानाची बाब आहे. न्यायव्यवस्था ही लोकांचं एक आशास्थान आहे. आज आपण महिला अत्याचाराविषयी अनेक ठिकाणी काही घटना घडतात आणि त्याविषयी आपण बोलतो आणि म्हणून जलद गतीने न्याय व्हावा, तात्काळ आरोपीला शासन व्हावं अशी जनतेची रास्त अपेक्षा असते आणि त्यासाठी सक्षम आणि कार्यक्षम यंत्रणा अस्तित्वात असली पाहिजे. यासाठी आपण मिळून सगळ्यांनी प्रयत्न केला पाहिजे. शासन कुठेही कमी पडणार नाही यासाठी मी या खात्री देतो. मला सांगायला देखील समाधान वाटतंय की महिला अत्याचाराच्या संदर्भात देखील गुन्हा सिद्ध होऊन गुन्हेगारास शिक्षा होण्याचं प्रमाण गेल्या अलीकडच्या 2-4 वर्षामध्ये वाढलं आहे. खरं म्हणजे गुन्हेगाराला जरब बसवणं, त्याला तात्काळ शासन होणं ही समाजाची आणि काळाची गरज आहे. आणि म्हणून त्यासाठी जे जे काही आवश्यक आहे ते तर आपण करताय. त्याला जे लागणारं जे काही इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर आहे, जे काही आवश्यक आहे ते शासन म्हणून आम्ही कधी कमी पडणार नाही अशा प्रकारचं मी आपल्याला शब्द देतो. आणि म्हणून महिला संबंधीचे जे खटले आहेत मगाशी म्हणालो आम्ही देखील फास्ट ट्रॅकवर काम करतो. तर फास्ट ट्रॅक न्यायालयात चालले, त्याला तात्काळ समोरच्या गुन्हेगाराला शिक्षा मिळाली, कठोर शासन झालं तर समाजामध्ये एक चांगला मेसेज जातो, गुन्हेगाराला जरब बसते, गुन्हेगारीचं प्रमाण कमी होतं आणि सर्वसामान्याला न्याय मिळतो. आणि त्यामुळे न्यायव्यवस्था ही आपल्या राज्यघटनेची आणि नागरिकांच्या हक्काची आणि कायद्याची आणि राज्याची रक्षक म्हणून उभी आहे. आणि म्हणूनच मी आपल्याला मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो. काळानुरूप गुन्हे आणि गुन्हेगारीचं स्वरूप बदलतंय, तंत्रज्ञानाची आव्हानं मोठी होत आहेत आणि म्हणूनच कायद्याची अधिक जरब बसवण्याची किंबहुना बसण्याची आवश्यकता आहे. आणि म्हणूनच देशाचे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदीजी यांच्या नेतृत्वात सरकारने IPC, CRPC, इंडियन एव्हिडन्स ॲक्टमध्ये बदल करण्याचा देखील ऐतिहासिक निर्णय घेतला. त्यामध्ये ब्रिटिशकालीन कायदे बदलून नव्या काळाशी सुसंगत न्याय संहिता आणली आणि त्यामध्ये न्यायव्यवस्थेचं देखील मोठं योगदान आहे. आणि म्हणून ब्रिटिशकालीन कायदे बदलून या ठिकाणी त्या नवीन कायद्यामध्ये शिक्षेचं स्वरूप कठोर आहे, गुन्हेगारांवर जरब बसवणारं आहे. आणि म्हणून सध्याच्या काळाची गरज लक्षात घेऊन मी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री आणि केंद्रीय गृहमंत्री अमित शाह साहेबांना देखील धन्यवाद देईन. कायद्याचं राज्य प्रस्थापित करण्यासाठी घेतलेल्या निर्णयाबद्दल त्यांचे आभारही मानेन. आणि खरं म्हणजे वकील संघटना देखील महत्त्वाची आहे. वकील हाही न्यायाची अपेक्षा करणारा आणि न्याय देणारा दोघांमधला दुवा आहे आणि म्हणूनच त्याचं देखील महत्त्वाचं स्थान आहे. आणि म्हणूनच मी या ठिकाणी आपल्याला एवढंच सांगेन की राज्यघटनेच्या प्रस्तावनेत न्याय, स्वातंत्र्य, समता आणि बंधुता हे शब्द आहेत. हे केवळ शब्द नाहीत तर मार्गदर्शक तत्व आहेत आणि ही तत्व आपल्या न्यायशास्त्राला आणि समाजाला आकार देतात. सामाजिक संवेदना ओळखून शासनाने देखील काम करणं आवश्यक आहे आणि मग आम्ही ते करण्याचा प्रयत्न करतोय. दुर्बल आणि उपेक्षित घटकाला न्याय देण्याचाही प्रयत्न करतोय. मगाशी देवेंद्रजींनी आमच्या उपमुख्यमंत्री महोदयांनी सांगितलं की अगोदर BKCमध्ये यायला लांब वाटायचं, पण आता कोस्टल रोड कंप्लीट होतोय त्यामुळे अगदी हे जवळ अंतर आलंय. 15 मिनिटामध्ये आपण तुमच्या कोर्टापासून इकडे आता या नवीन होणाऱ्या कोर्टामध्ये पोहोचू अशा प्रकारचं काम या ठिकाणी करतोय. अटल सेतू असेल, मेट्रोची कामं असतील, अशी अनेक कामं आपण करतोय. त्यामुळे योजनाही देखील आपण करतोय. एकीकडे विकास आणि दुसरीकडे कल्याणकारी योजना याची सांगड घालण्याचा आम्ही प्रयत्न करतोय आणि म्हणून मी आपल्याला मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो. मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचा गौरवशाली वारसा असाच पुढे आणि आपल्या पुढील पिढ्यांसाठी, तरुण पिढ्यांसाठी एक प्रेरणा देत राहील, ऊर्जा देत राहील, मार्गदर्शक म्हणून बनेल अशा प्रकारची आशा व्यक्त करतो आणि पुन्हा एकदा मी आपल्या सगळ्यांना खूप खूप शुभेच्छा देतो. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, today is truly a historic and momentous day for the High Court. The new High Court complex represents the physical infrastructure for the benefit of all stakeholders. Under the leadership of Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, several measures have been introduced to shore up the digital infrastructure for the legal fraternity. In order to ensure that the benefits of our digital infrastructure are available with the litigants, the Bombay High Court has established e-Seva Kendras at district and taluka courts. There are 383 such e-Kendra centers. The project is a brainchild of the E-Committee of the Supreme Court, and it is our honor to request Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud to inaugurate the e-Seva Kendra in today's function. May I request our associate to present the remote device to His Lordship and request Honorable Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, the Chief Justice, to inaugurate this center. The E-Committee of the Supreme Court has conceived the idea of e-Seva Kendras to strengthen access to justice for all. Strategically located at the entry points of the courts, e-Seva Kendras primarily serve the needy litigants and lawyers. These Kendras will provide easy access to information about cases, court services, apart from assistance for e-filing, obtaining certified copies, and making online payments. The biggest achievement of the e-courts project is promoting engagement with the litigants by enabling flow of information directly to the stakeholders. This information on fingertips will empower the litigants to make informed choices or take actions. Increased transparency and efficiency are achieved through this initiative. This includes information about free legal service and video conferencing services. Ladies and gentlemen, the e-Seva Kendras that we saw on the screen are located in different court premises and litigants would have to access them during court hours. However, in keeping with the vision of the Honorable Chief Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, in order to ensure that access to legal services is available at the doorsteps of the litigant, the Bombay High Court is introducing Bombay Digital Law Report an e-based search platform, a search portal for court judgments in local languages. I now have the pleasure of requesting the Honorable Dr. Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud to again virtually inaugurate this search platform. Sir, if you could please again click the remote device and virtually inaugurate the service. It is the same remote device which was given, my lords. This is a search portal, one of its kind, by the Bombay High Court, where judgments and laws can be searched at one place in bilingual mode. This visionary idea to make use of artificial intelligence to strengthen access to justice by translating judgments and laws in local languages was made tangible by the Honorable Chief Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud. The Bombay High Court takes pride in sharing and realizing that dream of the Honorable Chief Justice by providing search of such judgments through this engine and laws at one place in Marathi and in English through this digital law report. The search portals, as you will find, provides facility of searching judgments and acts in English as well as Marathi. Apart from regular search parameters, judgments can be searched on free text. More than 3,000 judgments of the Supreme Court are available for search. With this March edition, the digital law report is proposed to be published in bilingual mode each month as a perennial activity. After we have witnessed a sneak preview of this portal, we now move on to the segment of today's function that we have all been waiting for. May I now request Honorable Chief Justice, Dr. Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, to address this august gathering.
नमस्कार. माझे सहकारी न्यायाधीश श्री भूषण गवई, श्री अभय ओक, श्री दीपंकर दत्तो, श्री उज्ज्वल भुयान, श्री प्रसन्ना वराळे, महाराष्ट्राचे मुख्यमंत्री माननीय श्री एकनाथजी शिंदे, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे मुख्य न्यायाधीश श्री देवेंद्र उपाध्याय, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे माजी मुख्य न्यायाधीश श्री मोहित शहाजी, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयातून बाकी उच्च न्यायालयाचे मुख्य न्यायाधीश, पंजाब आणि हरियाणा उच्च न्यायालयाचे न्यायाधीश श्री शावक वजीजदार, हिमाचल प्रदेशचे मुख्य न्यायाधीश श्री अमजद सय्यद, कर्नाटक उच्च न्यायालयाचे मुख्य न्यायाधीश श्री दिनेश प्रतिनिधी, राजस्थान उच्च न्यायालयाचे मुख्य न्यायाधीश श्री संभाजी शिंदे, श्री नरेश पाटील जी, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे वरिष्ठ न्यायाधीश श्री नितीन जामदार, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे सर्व न्यायाधीश, महाराष्ट्राचे मुख्यमंत्री श्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी व श्री अजित पवार जी, श्री देवंग गिरीश व्यास, एडिशनल सॉलिसिटर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया, डॉक्टर बीरेंद्र सराफ, महाधिवक्ता महाराष्ट्र राज्य, चीफ सेक्रेटरी मुख्य सचिव श्रीमती सुजाता सौनिक, श्रीमती मनीषा म्हैसकर, श्री संग्राम डी देसाई, अध्यक्ष बार काउंसिल ऑफ महाराष्ट्र आणि गोवा, श्री नितिन ठक्कर, अध्यक्ष बॉम्बे बार असोसिएशन, श्री प्रशांत रेड़ेकर, अध्यक्ष एडवोकेट्स एसोसिएशन ऑफ वेस्टर्न इंडिया, फरजाना बेहराम कामदिन, अध्यक्ष बॉम्बे इनकॉर्पोरेटेड लॉ सोसायटी, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे रजिस्ट्रार जनरल श्री आर एन जोशी व रजिस्ट्रीचे इतर पदाधिकारी, सुप्रीम कोर्टाचे सेक्रेटरी जनरल श्री अतुल कुरेकर जी, महेश पाटणकर, श्री राकेश शर्मा, बंधू आणि भगिनींनो, मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाच्या नवीन इमारतीचा पायाभरणी समारंभाच्या निमित्ताने मुंबई उच्च न्यायालय आणि महाराष्ट्र राज्य सरकार यांचे मी मनापासून अभिनंदन करतो. ही इमारत पुढील 100 वर्षाकरता पक्षकार, वकील मंडळी व न्यायाधीशांकरता एक उपयुक्त योगदान देणारी असेल. मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाचे काम 14 ऑगस्ट 1862 रोजी अपोलो बंदर येथून सुरू झाले आणि साधारण 17 वर्षांनी ते नवीन म्हणजेच सध्या इमारतीत स्थलांतरित झाले. तेव्हापासून आजपर्यंत ही इमारत न्यायालयाच्या कारभाराचा भार खंबीरपणे सांभाळत आहे. या तब्बल 150 वर्षाच्या इतिहासात अनेक स्थित्यंतरे आणि बदल या न्यायालयाने पाहिले. या कोर्टाचा लौकिक आणि इतिहास हा फारच दैदिप्यमान आणि प्रेरणादायी आहे. या न्यायालयाने आपल्या देशाला अनेक राष्ट्रीय नेते दिले आहेत. त्यात प्रामुख्याने महात्मा गांधी, भारतरत्न डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर, सरदार वल्लभभाई पटेल, श्री के एम मुंशी, भारतरत्न PV काणे यांचा प्रामुख्याने उल्लेख करावा लागेल. तसंच मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाने अनेक नामवंत न्यायाधीश आणि वकील यांचीही कारकीर्द घडवली. मुंबई शहर हे आर्थिक, व्यावसायिक, औद्योगिक क्षेत्राचे माहेरघर आहे. या अनुषंगाने या न्यायालयात वेगवेगळ्या क्षेत्राची आणि विविध प्रकारचे खटले चालत असतात आणि म्हणूनच मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाला अनेक सामाजिक, राजकीय आणि शैक्षणिक क्षेत्रातील निवाड्यांचा इतिहास आहे. नवीन इमारत उभारणीच्या निमित्ताने आपण दक्षिणेकडून उत्तरेकडे मार्गस्थ होत आहोत. मार्गस्थ होताना आपण पूर्णपणे दक्षिणेकडे आपली पाठ फिरवली जाईल असे होणार नाही याची दक्षता घेणे तितकेच महत्त्वाचे आहे. काल परत्वे न्यायालयाच्या कामाचा स्वरूप आणि आवाका हा प्रचंड वाढल्याने न्यायालयाची जागा आणि सुविधा यांची आवश्यकता वाढली आहे. नवीन आव्हाने, नवीन उद्दिष्टे आणि न्यायपालिकेच्या भविष्यात्मक दृष्टिकोन त्यातील बदल याचा विचार करता नवीन इमारत ही काळाची गरज आहे. नवीन संगणकीय बदल, डिजिटायझेशन, पेपरलेस कोर्ट्स, ई-फायलिंग, न्यायदानाची बदललेली संकल्पना म्हणजे न्याय आपल्या दारी, या सगळ्या बाबींचा विचार करता नवीन इमारत मोठी आणि अद्ययावत बांधणीची असणे हे सगळ्यांसाठी सोयीचे होणार आहे. त्यामुळेच 23 सप्टेंबर 2024 म्हणजे आजचा दिवस हा मुंबई उच्च न्यायालयाच्या कारकिर्दीचा अत्यंत महत्त्वाचा आणि ऐतिहासिक दिवस ठरणार आहे. I am delighted to return to the city that has been my haven, Mumbai, and to the institution that has shaped me, the Bombay High Court. Not only did I serve as a judge of the Bombay High Court for over 13 years, but my days as a young advocate, learning the ropes of this profession, were also spent in the hallowed corridors of this institution. They say that nothing compares to the sweetness of homecoming, but for me today's homecoming is like no other. As the court transitions from the old to the new, it symbolizes a remarkable ability to honor our heritage while embracing the challenges of the future. Theater artists are often told that if they respect the stage will respect them. As we celebrate the groundbreaking ceremony of the new High Court complex, we must first pay homage to the heritage building that has been our stage, an architectural marvel that has mentored us all. The heritage building of the Bombay High Court is replete with fascinating stories and hidden gems. Every corner of the building tells a new story. For instance, as you walk through its halls, you will notice intricate carvings of monkey judges and fox advocates peeking out from the pillars, wearing lawyers' bands. Legend has it that these whimsical touches were added by a disgruntled subcontractor as mischievous revenge against the arduous legal system of the law. But there is something more than the visual imagery. It is an important symbol. And what is that symbol? The symbol is that in the hands of wise women and wise men, the law can be an instrument of compassion and justice. But wielded arbitrarily, the law in the same hands can become an instrument of the arbitrary exercise of power and oppression. It is the same law which in colonial times was an instrument of oppression that the post-independence generation of judges and lawyers have wielded in the pursuit of justice to common citizens. The role played by the Bombay High Court in nation building and the evolution of a legal culture that has been emulated across the country cannot be understated. Even during the colonial rule, the High Court bore the unique distinction of being an institution which remained independent of the colonial executive and espoused values of integrity that continue to guide us over 7 decades after independence. Though the formal transfer of power occurred in 1947, when India became independent, a silent transfer of power had been taking place at the bar and bench of the Bombay High Court over several decades. In many ways, the litigants, pleaders, solicitors, and advocates of the court drove the process of its Indianization, such that on the eve of independence, the court was essentially an Indian court and had in fact been one for decades. The corridors and courtrooms of the heritage building of the High Court have witnessed not only the advocacy, but also every day water cooler conversations, or for people like me, the older generation, conversations over Bhatt's cup of tea, conversations of several generations of legal stalwarts, both members of the bar and the bench. To name a few of the distinguished judges and lawyers would run the risk of missing so many. Today, as we celebrate the proposed new complex, let us take a moment to applaud the authorities and heritage conservation agencies who have worked tirelessly to preserve and maintain the iconic Bombay High Court building. That this 150-year-old beauty still buzzes with activity, hosting one of the country's busiest courts, is no small feat. Successive governments, members of the bar and the bench, have put in a tireless effort to keep it running safely and effectively. However, we cannot deny the inevitable. Our cherished old friend is slowly yielding to time. The writing is on the wall, and it is time for a fitting new home for the Bombay High Court. To the romantics and nostalgists, rest assured that the heritage building is not going anywhere. It is always going to be here for us to visit, for inspiration and solace. I, for one, will often find myself returning to the words of Lokmanya Gangadhar Tilak, etched on a plaque outside the courtroom where his trial took place. And remember that at the end of the trial, Lokmanya Tilak was sentenced for the offense of sedition to suffer 6 years of imprisonment in Mandalay in Burma. Crossing the plaque innumerable times as a young lawyer, I still remember these words of Lokmanya Gangadhar Tilak. And he said, in spite of the verdict of the jury, I maintain that I am innocent. There are higher powers that rule the destiny of men and nations. And it may be the will of providence that the cause which I represent may prosper more by my suffering than by my remaining free. The same traditions were carried on by the Bombay High Court during the years of the emergency, when judges of the Bombay High Court forsake their own careers as judges in support of the cause of liberty and freedom. The proposed new High Court complex is a testament to the transformative power of collaboration between the government, the bar, and the bench. The government made active efforts to identify and allot land for a new High Court complex. However, it faced certain roadblocks. The High Court and the Supreme Court, in response to a letter from the Bombay Bar Association, took suo motu cognizance of the urgent need for accommodation, sparking a chain of events that brings us here today. And I would like to thank all the three associations, the Advocates Association of Western India, the Bombay Bar Association, and the Bombay Incorporated Law Society in coming together. Likewise, I'd like to praise the efforts of my very distinguished colleagues on the bench of the Supreme Court, Justice Gawai, Justice Oak, and of course Justice Dipankar Datta, who was the Chief Justice of the Bombay High Court when critical decisions were taken, and now, of course, Brother Devendra Upadhyay. The government's prompt and cooperative action has been commendable, demonstrating a shared commitment to strengthening our judicial infrastructure. As we move forward, our priority must be to expedite construction while ensuring the safety and security of the existing building, which will continue to operate in the interim. To address the pressing space constraints, I am pleased to note that the government is proactively exploring ways to optimize space in nearby buildings to augment the existing complex. This will help bridge the gap until a new complex is operational. In many ways, this ceremony celebrates not only the promise of a modern state-of-the-art facility, but also the spirit of cooperation that has made it possible. Let us all be clear, and let's not be befuddled by our vision. On the judicial side, the judges across the high courts and in the Supreme Court exercise their functions with the fiercest sense of independence. But when it comes to administrative infrastructure, budgeting, we stand together with the government. We stand together because our mission is one and the same. These projects are not private projects for the judges or for the lawyer. These are projects which are created for our citizens. Therefore, let there be no doubt at all, and I have no doubt in my mind, that this sense of collaboration between the state and the judiciary is in the interest of providing modern infrastructure for our citizens. And that sense of collaboration is in the tradition which our courts have wielded over the last 75 years and reflects the strength and maturity of our nation. As we move to a new physical space, undoubtedly our focus must be on modern architecture and innovative facilities. But we must also be cognizant of the fact that the architecture and infrastructure of our court complexes have a direct link with access to justice. When we speak of enhancing accessibility of infrastructure, there are two forms that this takes. The first aspect involves rectifying existing inaccessible systems, often by retrofitting existing infrastructure and buildings. The other form, which assumes even more importance, is ensuring that the new architecture we construct is adequately accessible from the get-go. Several court complexes in our country have been able to retrofit existing constructions to increase access for persons with disabilities by installing facilities such as ramps and tactile strips. But the construction of a new complex for the High Court serves as a unique opportunity to ensure that accessible infrastructure is built into the design of the new complex itself and is not an afterthought. We must ensure that the new infrastructure we create is based on universal design principles, which entails thinking about the design of architecture in a way that enables accessibility for all people to the greatest extent possible. A court complex following the principles of universal design would be accessible not just to people with disabilities, but also to children and to the elderly. I'm hopeful that the planning process will prioritize stakeholder engagement, accessibility audits, and expert consultation to create a truly inclusive space. Let us focus on two critical stakeholders. The judiciary is witnessing a demographic shift. More and more women lawyers are entering the Indian judiciary, both as judges and as lawyers. States like Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh are seeing more than 50% of the new entrants into the judiciary in the form of women. Likewise, more and more women lawyers are entering into the legal profession. They have special needs which have to be looked after by creating safe and inclusive spaces of work for women. Women do not expect concessions. They expect equal opportunity. And the physical infrastructure which we create will define the sort of society we will create for women in the next 50 or 100 years. As we invest in modernizing our physical courtroom infrastructure through architecture and construction, it is equally crucial for us as judges and administrative members to also prioritize advancements in our digital infrastructure. I'm delighted that we have inaugurated today the E-Seva Kendras and the Bombay Digital Law Reports. Let us all understand what the mission is all about. The E-Committee of the Supreme Court is ensuring that we translate our judgments into every language which is recognized by the Constitution. Nearly 2,000 judgments of the Supreme Court, as Justice Oak informed me, have been now translated into Marathi. 37,000 judgments of the Supreme Court since independence have already been translated into Hindi using machine learning and artificial intelligence. And this movement is now taking place all over the country. The idea is that the work which we do as judges must be taken to the doorstep for those who we are intended to serve. Gone are the days of scouring through rows of dusty law manuals with students, researchers and lawyers searching tirelessly for relevant case law. The use of virtual platforms such as the Bombay Digital Law Reports will revolutionize legal research. Such facilities must remain free, ensuring equal access for all members of the legal fraternity. There are young lawyers who cannot afford the cost of private law reports. We must provide these facilities to them so that they can access these facilities even though they do not have the resources to pay for them. Ensuring that access to our judgments and orders is free not only benefits members of the fraternity, but also brings our institutions closer to ordinary citizens. Judgments of our courts are no longer the preserve of those with legal training and are now easily accessible to a broader audience, litigants, members of the government, journalists, and members of civil society. As the judgments of our constitutional courts enter the discourse of common citizens, the values embedded in our constitution will also be injected into their daily lives. In this way, initiatives like the Bombay Digital Law Reports serve a larger purpose. By making judgments readily accessible, they facilitate a deeper understanding of our constitutional values among citizens. After all, the Constitution has within it the ability to produce a social catharsis. By bringing the Constitution closer to the people, we edge closer to realizing this potential for social transformation, paving the way for a more just, aware, and vibrant society. I will conclude my address with an ode inspired by the song Koi Kahe, Kehta Rahe from the iconic film Dil Chahta Hai. Maybe I've been inspired because the Bombay High Court now moves a little closer to Bollywood, at least spatially. The lyrics of the song, Hum Hain Naye, Andaz Kyun Ho Purana, resonates deeply as we embark on this new chapter. I am hopeful, or rather certain, that as we move towards the High Court with a Naya Andaz, we will build on the values, the ideals, and the rich legacy of our foreparents of the court while embracing innovation and progress. I thank the learned Chief Justice, the Government of Maharashtra, and everyone associated with this function, particularly the committee which has looked after every little detail of this event with such precision. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll cherish this opportunity to speak at this function for the rest of my days. Namaskar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request Honorable Shri Justice Nitin Jamdar to give the vote of thanks.
The Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, all the honorable dignitaries on the dais, the esteemed guests in the audience, it is my privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks on this historic occasion. This moment is not just a celebration of brick and mortar, but of the enduring legacy of justice, which has been the hallmark of this institution for more than 160 years. This Mumbai High Court building will stand as a testament to the evolution of justice over the years. First and foremost, we express our deepest and heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, whose personal interest in this project has been a driving force. His continuous support and guidance has ensured that the aspirations for new court building would be transformed into a reality. Under his visionary leadership, we are witnessing a renewed emphasis on the modernization of judicial infrastructure across the country. We would like to express our deepest appreciation for the unwavering support of Shri Eknathji Shinde, the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra. His administration has always been sensitive to the growing demands of new land and infrastructure for the judiciary. Without his consistent backing and cooperation of his government, allocation of this new plot of land and today's groundbreaking ceremony would not have been possible. Our profound thanks go to Honorable Justice Bhushan Gawai, who has been guiding light throughout this process. His wisdom and insight have been invaluable, and we have been privileged to receive his constant guidance in ensuring that project maintains its course and purpose. We are also deeply indebted to Honorable Justice A.S. Oak, whose drive and initiative in the formative years of this project concerning the plot of land has laid the essential groundwork for today's event. His involvement at critical junctures ensured that the new building would become a reality. We would also acknowledge the instrumental role played by Honorable Justice Dipankar Datta during his tenure as Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, was a key figure in taking this project forward. His unwavering dedication to the cause ensured that all the necessary approvals and progress were made at a swift pace. Honorable Justice Boyan Honorable Justice Barale, as integral members of the administration of this court, have contributed to ensure that the need for new High Court building would take shape. We extend our sincere thanks to Shri Devendra Fadnavis, Shri Ajit Pawar, the Honorable Deputy Chief Ministers of Maharashtra, for their role in supporting this initiative. Both have shown keen understanding of the significance of this project, recognizing the importance for the future in our state. Chief Justice Upadhyay, whose leadership has been integral to the continued progress of this project, was to ensure that we reach the milestone that we have reached today. We also express our appreciation to Shri Devang Vyas, Additional Solicitor General of India, and Dr. Birendra Saraf, Advocate General of Maharashtra, for their support. Their contribution has been vital in facilitating smooth cooperation between all stakeholders. This project would not have been possible without the support of both past and present executives who are present today, including the current Chief Secretary, Additional Chief Secretary, Principal Secretaries from the General Administration Department, Public Works Department, Finance, Urban Development Department, and Law and Judiciary Department. My colleagues on the Organizing and Steering Committee have worked tirelessly to make this event a successful one. Thanks are due to them. Thanks are also due to the past Chief Justices of the Bombay High Court, all the retired judges of this court on the various committees, and the government secretaries who have contributed to this project. Special thanks are also due to the office bearers of all the bar associations, the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, and all my advocate friends whose support has been invaluable. There are several dignitaries present today to grace the occasion. I know that I have not referred to many, and I cannot refer to many due to constraint of time, who deserve individual mention, but it is not out of lack of appreciation, but simply due to constraints of time. Your contribution is deeply cherished, and we are sincerely grateful to each one of you. Together, we look forward to witnessing the completion of this magnificent project, which will serve as a beacon of justice for generations to come. Thank you all for being part of this function. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. May I now request one and all to stand in honor of the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
This concludes our function. May I request all the honored dignitaries and